This episode of 6'5 Guys is brought to you by Benchmark Barrels, world-class accuracy. Defiance Machine, defying tradition with innovation. JC Steel Targets, the industry leader in quality AR-500 steel targets.
Welcome to 6'5 Guys. I'm Steve Lawrence. This is the second part of the reloading room makeover and tour. If you missed the first part, you can watch that video by clicking here. In this video, we're going to really focus on just the reloading room. In the prior video, we talked a little bit about what's behind the scenes of where Ed and I typically film in our 6'5 Guys studio, which is actually my garage. So we're actually here in the reloading room. And as you may recall from seasons 1 and 2, it looks a little bit different. So what I want to do is kind of point out a few things, then we'll kind of actually take a tour through the room and I'll show you some of the stuff that I use and the things that are in here. So the biggest thing you'll notice is this wall unit. Previously I had a set of shelves that were part of this workbench. So this is a wall unit that actually built this last summer. It's actually Baltic birch, 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood that I've made, and then all of these shelves are adjustable. And the shelves are actually attached to the wall using a French cleat system. And then the bench itself, I completely refinished by adding a T-track, which is here. I actually used Incra T-track on the front, 2 inches in, and then going back about 10 inches for the second T-track, which allows me to take my reloading press and I can remove it and put it up in a shelf, or just move it out of the way, or I can actually, adjust it and slide it to anywhere I want to on this bench if it's in the way. And again, I can lock it down, and it's very, very solid. So that was the second upgrade. As I mentioned in the first video, reason why I needed to do this is if any of you are like me, I tended to accumulate a lot of things in the room. This is the first place stuff would get dumped. And if I got too busy, things started to pile up and it got out of control. And I quickly realized that this room didn't have enough places to store items into their own places. So we're going to kind of take a walk through the room. We'll start actually right next to where Corey's filming, and we'll go through and I'll kind of show you what's here and some of the tools that I use. All right, so we'll just start here. This is the door obviously coming in from the front hallway. Bookshelf that stores a lot of gear, mostly powder. So my large powder storage in terms of the 8-pound jugs get put here. And most of this powder is a lot of the same stuff. You'll notice on these containers here, these all say open. So those are the ones that are currently open that I'm using from. I basically consume those powders first before I open up a brand new keg. And most of what I have here is, so I've got H335, Varget, H4350, IMR 82 XBR, 4895, and Accurate 2400. So those are the ones that I'm consuming right now. Most of this other ones, I believe I've got roughly 48 pounds of H4350, which I use a lot of, and probably 40 pounds of Varget. So those are the two main powders I'm currently using. Precision rifle. This one's for pistol. So a lot of the powders basically goes here. And I've got some more powder storage in that cabinet and the one that's right behind the camera. So we'll get to those in a moment. Here, additional storage for a lot of the poly gear that I really don't use a whole lot of, whether it's miscellaneous bags. I've got an LBE harness when I used to wear a battle belt for matches, but now I've gone to a pack. A lot of ammo containers, various pouches, and mag pouches and things like that. So that goes there. I think I got some slings in there as well. Another sling, bipods. So, you know, Harris 6 to 9 with the Arca lock. We'll talk a little bit more on that in a gear update. That's from Sawtooth Rifles. They make great stuff. Atlas bipod, and then one of my favorite, this, I actually took this off so I could fit the rifle into the safe. This is my SkyPod. So Sky Thomas was the designer of this and made these, and in fact, they just were acquired by MDT, so modular driven technology. So that's a pretty exciting development. So you'll see a lot more of these, I guarantee it. Because in fact, I bought this for $500, and I saw when I went to go check it out last week, they're $450, so the price has actually come down on these. But a great piece of kit. More mags, and then, you know, who doesn't have an assortment of beanies and ball caps, right? Coming over the safe, so the precision rivals for the most part go in here, and suppressors. The plinkers, the smaller caliber rifles, I've got a rifle cabinet, or it's more like a rifle locker in another room. So so this is the stuff that I really, you know, try and keep nice, is in this safe. Probably not the best safe in the world, but primarily it was just to kind of keep the kids out. So up here, camera gear. So of course, you know, we run a YouTube channel, and a big part of the storage problem that I had was I've got sound equipment, I've got cameras, I've got camera rigs, and, you know, all sorts of battery chargers and so on, and all of that has to find a place that I can get at it very quickly, because I typically will bring the cameras and stuff with me when I go out shooting. So right now, you know, 4K camera up here and a couple of rigs sit up here. Again, we do gear reviews, so we got gear here waiting to do reviews on. So these are from ESC Dynamic Gear. These are the Giddings skid pads, so looking forward to checking those out. So why don't we kind of come over here to the main bench, and we'll talk about what's against this wall. All right, so I'll kind of walk you through what's on this wall. And as you can see, the top really is a lot of box storage. So a lot of audio gear, camera gear, other miscellaneous shooting accessories. I tend to keep the boxes in case, as you know, electronics equipment tends to become outdated quickly. And I always like to use, from a production value, the best stuff that I can afford. So if there's stuff that I don't need anymore, I want to upgrade, I'll often, you know, keep the box, and I can just put it back up on the market and resell it. So box storage is up on top. Miscellaneous brass, and then of course I've got these cabinets which actually provide really good storage for, in this case, bullets and pistol ammo. In this one, I've got a lot of my 1-pounders of, you know, Varget, more Varget, 82.8 XBR. So a lot of the 1-pounders end up there, and then the last two is just regular paper file storage. Continue up here. Not only do I have my brass that I keep, but, you know, other things that just need a place to be put, whether it be, you know, loaded ammo, spur mounts, which, huge shout out to Mile High Shooting Accessories and Spur. They are supporting our channel by providing a lot of different scope mounts of various sizes. So we're fairly well kitted out on the spur mounts. Really happy about that. We're testing Liberty suppressor right now, so that'll be an upcoming video. And then, you know, just other gear that tends to just sit around. So this is the MagnetoSpeed V3 and a Weiser chrono mount. Pretty good piece of kit. Shooting bag here in the corner. And then coming around, I mentioned to you the press, which this is an innovation actually that I kind of stole from our buddy Gavin Gear, who runs the Gavin Tube channel. It was Ultimate Reloader is probably what you know him for. So he's going to be developing a product, actually a ready-made bench that's very similar to this. So that'll probably be coming out sometime in 2019. But in the meantime, I wanted to have a very similar setup because oftentimes I want to use the entire bench, or I want to be able to move the press very easily. So it allows, the T-tracks allow me to do that. So put those in the summer. And then of course, you know, I have down here a lot of the tools that we would commonly use: hex wrenches, feeler gauges. You know, this is a toolbox where I have, you know, mini screwdrivers and pliers and wrenches of various sorts. You know, my torque wrenches over here. And then, of course, just tons of other little doodads, whether it be, you know, miscellaneous scope caps. What else do I have in here? You know, my iota training device. Brakes, I've got several different brakes and bipod feet. Scope rings, these are the American Rifle Company, and then I've got some from APA, American Precision Arms. And a really cool device for the spur mounts. In fact, this works with any ring. If you guys have any sets of rings, Spur makes a tool called the leveling kit for separate rings, which we'll have to do a gear update and give you a quick update on this. But this can be used with any scope and allows you to make sure that your scope is level to your action on your rifle. So you can make sure it's perfectly level. Great idea. He's got some really cool innovations. You know, more rings and feet and depriming pins. And I've got various stuff for my mandrel dies. So I've got tons of different mandrels for different cartridges. So all of that finds room in this here. Batteries, and then I've got triggers and more muzzle devices. And then the same thing here. So if you have a reloading bench, I definitely recommend getting something like this, because this is one of the things what I would always kind of struggled with, is just having so many small parts and pieces and trying to find things amidst the clutter. Okay, coming over again on the wall unit, empty ammo boxes, so finished ammo gets boxed. And then of course you see a lot of the brass. Most of this is the rifles that I currently reload for. 6 Dashers coming up. That'll be the match caliber or cartridge for 2019. 6x47 was last year's cartridge I just moved from. I've got 65x47 match, and then this is my practice brass. 308 Palma, 6XZ, 6.5 Grendel, 338 Lapua, 6.5 Creedmoor, which I'm going to be getting into. So newsflash, 6.5 Creedmoor. And then 224 Valkyrie. So I've got my eye on that. So more upcoming stuff for 2019. I want to get into 224 Valkyrie. Moving over, tons of primers. I'm really well stocked on Federal Gold Medal Match, large rifle primers. You know, got probably 10,000 of the CCI large rifle primers. Probably 30,000 of the 450s. Small rifle primers, Magnum primers, because we use a ton of those. And then, of course, dies. So with the Dasher, my buddy Corey Bibby talked me into getting the wooden dies. So I'm actually going to try those out for the first time this year. So I've heard good things about them. Have not used them yet, so we'll probably give you an update in our experience using that. And as you can see, definitely a big user of the Redding dies and Forster. Some of the other calibers, like 223, 308, I'm using just the standard RCBS dies, so nothing fancy there. And then coming over here again on the bench for next year, the DTACs. These are the 115s, so we're going to be running the DTAC 115s for 2019. Still have roughly 1,000, or probably shy of 1,000, 600 of the Sierra 110s, which for for me, they performed okay. I wasn't super thrilled with them. I wouldn't say no big complaints, but they didn't perform as good as I would have hoped for. And then these bullets, I believe, are the 123 CNRs. So for the 6.5. So, all right, we'll come over here to the reloading bench. This is where really a lot of the charging gets done, and I'll kind of walk you through what's on this bench. All right, so now we're standing here in front of this unit, which has a lot of stuff going on. So up top really is just storage. This is actually a shelving unit I got. There's a large corporation that was downsizing. I believe it was the timber company. Don't recall the name of it, but basically they're getting rid of a lot of office furniture, and I got a really good deal on this unit for like $200. All I had to do was just swing by, pay the $200, and then pick it. It was completely disassembled. Had to bring it into this room and reassemble it, but I really like it because it gives me a ton of storage and a nice place with a lot of room to sit and do reloading. So up here, again, camera gear and accessories, a lot of plates and adapters and miscellaneous stuff. Bullhorn, which is good if you're managing large events outdoors. I've got another drop powder measure, Hornady, which those are really good. I would highly recommend those. They perform very well. So tend to use that on some reloading. And then I've got a knife sharpening kit here because I have a number of knives I like to keep sharp. 6.5 guy patches. So we still have some left if you're interested in those. Those were the patches we came out with a couple of years ago. So still have about 100 of those left. So we'll probably end up taking those to SHOT Show and giving a bunch out. All right, so we get down to this shelf. Mostly it's just bullets for the most part. So currently I've got probably over 1,500 of the Nosler 175 grain RDFs in 308, 400 or 500 of the Burger 130 grain 6.5 VLDs, and looks like a couple thousand of the Burger 6 mil 105 hybrid bullets, and then various Nosler RDFs for the 6.5, that's the 140 grain, and then for 338 I'm running some Hornady 250s, or actually 285s. This is kind of plinking ammo in 223 and 308, and then for 22 caliber, this is actually for our 223 trainers. We were running the 75 grain Bowtail Hollow Point match from Hornady, which is actually a very cost-effective bullet that performs really well for the price. Various powder funnel sizes for various calibers, and then the loading blocks. Down here is where a lot of the work takes place, and you'll see probably the thing I like the most is, of course, the television. Allows me to kind of kick back, relax, watch a little bit of the boob tube while I'm doing some dropping powder into cases and getting them charged up. So on here on this bench, I've got the Nearly Made Perfect machine with the Aztec upgrade. So got the Aztec upgrade last year, which was actually announced around or just prior to SHOT Show in 2018. So I've had that for a while, and that's a great upgrade. Right next to that is the Giraud trimmer, and I've got various collets for a number of different cartridges for that machine. Over here, the RCBS Charge Master, which gets moderately used, but for a lot of the precision rifle stuff, I'm actually using the A&D FX120i, and I'm using that with the auto trickler. So this is the auto trickler unit that interfaces with the A&D FX120i scale, And then I've got some bench jewelry from Area 419. And I actually dropped a few $100s on additional Area 419 upgrades for this unit. It should be coming probably in a week or two, so it's on its way. But basically I'll have this set up with powder, and then I'll be loading up, again with Area 419 loading blocks. A lot of these units are cartridges here, and then from here they go over to the press for bullet seating. So that's my process. Probably notice this, again, it's back to the cameras. Got a ton of batteries that need to be charged up constantly. So this is a big turret that has various outlets and USB ports to charge things. All right, coming over here, again, a press which has been mounted, which allows me to quickly pop it onto the bench, the reloading bench, using the T-Track system. And this is the Hornady Lock and Load AP. Right now it's set up for 223. So that's what's sitting up here. And then various items down here. You'll see another chronograph is sitting in here. This is the not the magneto speed, lab radar. So got the lab radar chronograph in this bag, which I generally use that for load development, and then if I'm going to a match and want to confirm, I'll bring the magneto speed. It's just more convenient. This is the gun I had out a week or so ago, 308. Again, we're testing the Liberty suppressor's Sovereign suppressor here. So just here right now, just to kind of quickly grab it and go to the range, do some more testing. So far, it's performed fantastic. Actually had it out at Rock Lake Rifle Range, and we were shooting targets out to around 1,200 yards consistently with the suppressor, and very predictable shift whether it's on or off. So I've been very happy so far with that particular product. Coming over here, again, more powder storage. This is my Vitavori drawer. So Vitavori, for the most part, comes in 1 pound kegs. So N540, N170, N165 is primarily what I use there. Miscellaneous brass, mostly it's just range brass and 223, and then some other product storage that I keep in these drawers. Then lastly, coming over here, again, just some rifle storage bags and miscellaneous drawers for junk. This is my everyday carry drawer. So a lot of times when I come back, when I wrap up the day, I dump my wallet, glasses, cell phone to be charged. Everyday carry knives, passport if I'm traveling, because I do a lot of air travel. So that's that. Pretty much, I think that pretty much wraps up this room. So hope you guys found this interesting. Again, behind the scenes look of kind of currently where I'm at. So we're at the start of 2019. This is my reloading room. I definitely wouldn't call this the end all be all. I do have some pretty good equipment that I'm using that took me a while to accumulate. A lot of this is fairly expensive stuff that, I think everything here I bought with my own money. So there's a few things here and there that I think we got for evaluation, but not too many of these items are. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of give you guys that update. If you have any questions on anything you've seen in this video, hopefully this hasn't dragged on too long, but in case you're wondering kind of the gear that I'm using, what my reloading setup looks like, now you have the straight scoop. We didn't cover the bench down here, but down here underneath the bench, the reloading bench is primarily just camera gear. So it's pouches, audio gear, the audio bag, camera slider, and then loaded ammo. So primarily off-the-shelf ammo and 308, 223, various other calibers, rimfire and pistol ammo. And that helps keep the bench weighed down so it doesn't move. So I've got a lot of weight in it in terms of ammo. So that's kind of what's below the reloading bench. But anyways, I just wanted to wrap this up. Hopefully it hasn't gone on too long. Again, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Love your feedback. Love to hear about some of the things that you guys are using, what you find valuable. Be sure to remember, life's an adventure. Stay on target.